Cheers! Welcome to Movie Bitches! So, we decided that since it's the end of the year, there's some movies that we've seen that we didn't end up reviewing for one reason or another. And some people have asked what we thought about them or whatever, and we're like, well, let's do a thing where we talk about them.
A year-end wrap-up.
Exactly. First things first, a little housekeeping. If you've been watching our videos and you've been enjoying it over the past year of 2016, please make sure to subscribe, tell all your friends. We're gunning for 10,000 subscribers. We would love your help getting there.
Yeah.
Secondly, shout out to our wine sponsor, Wink. Try wink.com/moviebitches. $20 off your first month. What? Cool wine. We didn't know what tapes put up for like 2016 because yikes, but there's no VHS tapes from that. But we got these in the mail recently.
In our P.O. box.
And so thank you everyone who sent us lots of stuff. We've been posting on our Instagram and Twitter with pictures and stuff. So thank you everyone. Please keep sending us whatever you feel like, we love it all.
I squealed with joy when I opened the tape titled Disney's Murder, She Purred, starring Ricky Lake, with a talking dog and cat. I literally can't wait to watch this. I'm really excited about it. I'm gonna save it for a rainy day. Just pop that in there. Ricky Lake, who I love, by the way. Has she made a bad movie? If you haven't seen Mrs. Winterbourne, go watch it. Shirley MacLaine, mistaken identity, Brendan Fraser, plays twins. What? Oh my god, what's going on?
Oh my god. Anyway, 2016 movies, that's what we're talking about.
Great. But if you guys have a VHS tape of Mrs. Winterbourne, send that on by, because that movie's really good. Have I not shown you Mrs. Winterbourne? We need to watch it. You'll love it.
Okay. So, just gonna go off this right now because I don't care.
Okay.
I was thinking about this on my way here. Xenon Girl of the 21st Century, for real though, got the future spot the fuck on.
Really?
Okay, self-driving cars, pads with screens, iPads, that we talk to each other via video chat with.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
It's the gift that keeps on giving.
It really is. I think that movie is fabulous.
I'm pretty excited to think about this scenario where you're driving in your car and you're thinking, who really got it right? Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. I mean, it just makes sense.
It happened. So, let's get into it. Should we work chronologically? That's going to be too difficult.
How would you know? I don't remember when the fuck they came out.
So I'll just start off with a movie that I have seen that Avaryl didn't get to see. I saw Jackie, which is out now in theaters.
Oh, yeah.
At Toronto. And I'll say this. Jackie was good. It wasn't great, and that disappointed me. She is very good. And she will get the nomination, and she might even get the award. I don't think she deserves it, but she'll...
No, she already won.
Yeah.
If she had not already won, maybe, but no.
Right.
Viola Davis is winning this Oscar.
Fair. That's
Did you see the snot in the trailer? That is golden Oscar snot.
She is gunning for it. Anyway... So, Jackie, my biggest problem with Jackie was when they came on stage to introduce the film at Toronto.
Some insides.
Well, I mean, this is evident just by watching the movie, but the perfect way of summing it up. They come out on stage to introduce the film, and it is 6 men and Natalie Portman. And literally everyone involved with the making of this film about a woman was a man. And it's interesting, there was a really great piece on Press Play with Madeline Brand on KCRW. She interviewed Natalie Portman about the movie to promote it. And Natalie Portman's talking about all of this research that she did and all of these cool things about Jackie and whatever. And I'm like, this is fascinating. And then I was like, fuck you, movie. None of this was in the fucking movie.
That sucks.
Yeah. And part of it was that they chose to do it in like the 3 days
After
following.
he got
Like it starts
assassinated.
off basically with him getting assassinated, and it's very graphic. And then it goes into like her
The next 3 days.
Yeah.
That's too bad because her life is fascinating.
Well, that's
even her the later years, fascinating.
And the thing is like for me, what was really frustrating is that I get that from like a filmmaking standpoint, and I appreciate it. Whatever.
Don't call it Jackie.
Well, right.
Then call it.
Oh, let's frame this thing about her around her husband.
Yeah.
And so it was just such a bummer because it was like, well, this is the only time that we're going to get someone like Natalie Portman to play Jackie. So it's the only real, like, high quality Jackie film that you're going to get. Blew it.
So, like, I should, like, watch it?
You could rent it.
Okay.
Don't rush out to theaters. I wouldn't.
I wasn't planning on it.
Yeah.
Were her outfits fabulous?
Yes. But
Although
it, like,
it's 3 days, so she's probably wearing the same too.
A lot of them. And then it's like, you know, it's just not, that's not what it's about.
You know, it should have been.
There were no women involved, Avaryl. They're not going to focus on the outfits. They focus on, like, her religion and, like, it's just, like, I don't know. It was 78 to 84% there.
So it was like, what was that awful Princess Di movie we watched? Diana.
Oh, God. No, it was not nearly as bad as Diana.
But it was that thing where it was like, let's focus on this one piece.
Yes.
And like,
yes. And it's like, oh, but you missed, like, the point of who she was as a person. It's just kind of like a superficial glance at her, and I would have liked a little bit more of, like, a
deeper
thought piece.
Mm.
So, that's my thought on Jackie.
Okay.
So, one of the most impactful movies, I would say, that we saw at Sundance this year was a documentary called Holy Hell.
It's on Netflix now. If you're at all interested in cults or how cults form, basically what happened was this man who was part of a cult was really into videography and filming, and he got designated as the archivist, essentially, of the cult. And filmed them for 20 years. But the thing is, he didn't really think he was in a cult. It starts and it's real granola, let's all eat salad and massage each other and like take dance classes to keep our bodies healthy. If anyone ever tells you, you gotta do this, you're gonna keep your body healthy, no, stop it. Gotta keep our spirits pure. You know, it starts very innocent in that hippie SoCal kind of like, oh, it's whatever, it's just a commune, who cares? And then slowly but surely, holy fucking shit, more shit's happening. I feel like we shouldn't say what's happening.
I don't want to talk about it. Just watch it.
It's really good.
It's really
good.
It's like
fascinating that there's so much footage.
Oh yeah, that's what's so great about it.
Years and years and years and years, and then there's interviews now of people after the fact. Watch it. Watch it.
Speaking of Sundance, another documentary that we saw was called Kiki. Let's have a Kiki. Which was like a fun look. It's kind of, their intent was to kind of do like a follow-up to Paris's Burning. But
it was like, where is the ball system scene? Where's the ball scene now in New York?
Right.
It's a lot more community outreach. It's a lot more shelter based, you know, which is fabulous, but less fabulous.
Paris's Burning is just kind of lightning in a bottle. I don't know if you can really capture it twice, but this was still a fun documentary, and it's like a fun thing about, you know, like ballroom and voguing and really fabulous stuff, and so it was fun.
So, another documentary we saw at Sundance.
Yeah, a lot of documentaries this year.
The Werner Herzog movie, lo and behold, something I forget, technology. Bleh.
This movie was fascinating.
And terrifying.
Terrifying.
It's about the internet. Who better to explore the various aspects of the internet than Werner Herzog, who still doesn't own a cell phone?
No.
A bunch of vignettes about different aspects of the internet, and I would highly recommend it.
Highly recommend it. So I guess to get our Sundance experience out of the way, the last movie that we saw, that we're going to talk about at least, at Sundance, was one called The Lure. Do you want to talk about it?
It's a musical from Poland. about a mermaid, 2 mermaids. I mean, if you aren't already in with that statement, I don't know who you are.
This movie is bonkers banana pants.
The filmmakers said they were there at the panel.
She's like, well, there aren't many musicals. In fact, this was the first Polish musical.
Period.
And so looked elsewhere for like inspiration, and it's cool because it really is inspiration and not replication.
Yes. I thought the first half of this movie is absolutely fabulous. It sort of gets confused and a little less focused by the end, and it's still absolutely worth watching, but it does sort of like come out with a real punch, you know, and you're just like, yes! Yeah. Like, the humor's real weird and funny and very, like, Twin Peaks. There's, like, some David Lynch, like, with that bar they all work at.
Yes.
It's, like, pretty great.
It's pretty great.
And then, you know, it does taper off slightly. Definitely watch it. If you can find it anywhere, The Lure.
Yeah.
Polish musical about mermaids. So, a movie that I saw that Andrew did not see was called Hush. It's a horror movie. You wouldn't like it, not one bit. Basically, it's a real simple story. There's a deaf woman who's sort of living in the middle of the woods in a house. Her closest neighbors are a long walk away. And a man in a mask with a crossbow decides to terrorize her. And it's sort of pretty good. Like, for a real low-budge, simple horror movie, one location, it was good. It was thrilling. I wish they had been like a slight bit more of her using her deafness against him. Like, it was trying to be Wait Until Dark, where it's like, oh, you're gonna terrorize me because I'm blind? Well, guess what? I'm gonna break all the lights in this house, and then fuck you, you're blind too. Like, they didn't quite have that turn. But it's like, if you like horror movies, it's like a quick little, it's on Netflix. It was spooky and scary, and there is that really terrifying thing of like, there's no reason. He's just a fucking psycho. So don't watch it.
I won't. So Outfest actually had a lot of really great films, which is exciting because for a long time, I feel like gay films were relegated to like this like Netflix streaming, you know, zone where it's like, oh, these aren't very good, but it's the only gay movie to watch.
Billy's Big Screen Kiss.
Yeah, well, I like Billy's, but that was okay.
Sure.
That wasn't one of the worst gay movies on Netflix.
There's worster ones.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
No, but so Sundance and Outfest had some overlaps this year. And one of them was The Intervention, which was really fun comedy. Basically, the story is, it's this group of friends and couples and whatever, and they think that this one couple should get a divorce because they don't get along. And it's like this whole intervention. But also the main character that's leading it is like an alcoholic. And so everyone's like, but like, you should not be drinking. And like, it's like this whole thing where it's like, everyone's like casting stones, but it's like, but nah, girl, like, look at yourself.
So it's basically a How I Met Your Mother plotline?
I mean, maybe, I don't know, I didn't watch How I Met Your Mother, but it's like this whole like, they're all like at a summer house on a lake or whatever.
I'm in.
It's really fun. It's pretty quick. There's some good comedians. It's on Amazon Prime, so great, free, yes. So
another movie that I did not see, that I saw the first 8 minutes of, was Deadpool.
You only give it 8 minutes?
Oh, you would have.
I would have given it 3.
Oh, man. I mean, controversial statement. People really loved this movie. I thought it was written for a 13-year-old boy, which is not me. So, you know, maybe other people liked it. It was talking to the camera. It was 90s references. It was, like, silly slow-mo fart jokes. You know, like, he does he shoot someone in the dick? I feel like he does.
Right up Main Street.
It was Ryan Reynolds at his most Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, no.
And it was just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And the opening credits are slow motion action, and he's like pulling down one guy's pants, and then a bullet's flying in bullet time, and then he's gonna do this. And the credits, which everyone seemed to like, but the opening credits are like, British villain guy, sassy friend. Like that, the joke was literally, we're gonna write what the stereotype is, and I was like, oh no. They thought this was real clever, and I don't. And that's cool if you did, but I left. I was just like, I know exactly where this is going and what's going to happen, and it's only going to make me increasingly more angry. So I didn't see any more of Deadpool. Also, I have a question you can't answer. He's wearing his mask, and he has white eyes, like as if the eye part of his mask is white, and yet the mask blinks. I had a lot of questions about that. His mask blinks.
I don't know.
Maybe there's an answer. I didn't stay to find out.
Yeah.
So
did Kingsman's Secret Service come out in 2016? I think that was 2015.
I think that was 2015.
That movie was terrible.
It was like not good. I like gave it a lot of credit. Like I was like, oh, Colin Firth's here. It's still good. Colin Firth's in a suit. I can deal with this. Oh, they have gadgets. And then it was like, oh, this is terrible. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. It was, ugh.
I watched it on a plane and I was like, oh, if I literally had anywhere else to go, I would not be watching this movie, but.
It was, crude in a way I didn't appreciate.
It was really crude.
I feel like they introduced, there was the whole scene with all the people getting murdered in that church. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they did not set up the fact that it was like they were being mind controlled. Like I was like, all of a sudden he was just murdering people, and I was like, what?
They didn't set it up well enough. They set it up, but they didn't.
Not enough for me to be on board. And then literally he's like surrounded by bodies, and I was in the theater and people clapped, and I felt really icky about that. Because it was like this crazy action scene, and people were like, woo!
But it was also this crazy action scene to like a stupid song.
Yeah.
I did not like
that. Also felt like it was for a 13-year-old boy.
Yes, and also like it took it. No. Another really good movie that was at Sundance and also at Outfest. It was the closing night at Outfest was Other People with Molly Shannon.
That was the really sad one, right?
Jesus fucking Christ. Get ready with a box of Kleenex because there was not a dry eye in the theater. I swear to God, I haven't gone through it like I did in this movie.
Yeah.
For a long time. It just tears you apart. But it's really well written, and they do a good job of like the ups and downs, you know?
It's not bleak.
It's not bleak, it's just fucking sad, but you're like laughing along the way.
Oh, that's good.
So you can't be angry at it. You're just like, oh my God, that movie was really, really sad, but really, really good. God, I'm just rambling off gay movies. Another gay movie that's totally the opposite of Other People, King Cobra.
Oh, right.
This movie was what I wanted Showgirls to be.
What do you mean?
That's not what I mean.
Whatever do you mean by that statement?
We're just gonna try this again.
No, keep telling me.
Okay, so King
Cobra.
What
did you mean?
King Cobra is what I wanted Magic Mike to be.
Okay.
It is Magic Mike meets Showgirls.
Oh.
In kind of the best way possible. It is not Showgirls.
Right.
But if there were any sort of gay version that could be Showgirls, it is. I had fun laughing at this movie, but in the right way.
I'm excited. I kind of want to watch this.
You should. Like, it's really not bad.
Okay.
But it's bad.
Okay.
But it's not bad.
Great.
Yeah.
All of Viva.
I liked it.
I want to talk about a real garbagey movie I watched on Netflix. Oh boy. It's called High Strung.
Okay.
It's basically Center Stage, but terrible.
Okay.
A famous cellist violinist boy who is very pretty falls in love with a ballerina. Just real teen, schlocky.
Good.
Trying to be something it's not, doesn't make sense. What's going on? And then it takes like a turn and the acting is terrible and oh, it's the best. Oh my god, and it's probably like 82 minutes.
I don't know about you, but I'm planning on keeping my scholarship.
I'm sleeping. My bet, you bitch!
If any of this sounds good to you...
I mean, it sounds like a great, like, there's just those nights where you're like, oh, I just want to drink a bottle of wine, eat some chocolate, and watch a shitty movie on Netflix.
Well, and it was, the kind of great thing about it was real pretentious.
Oh, good.
Real, like, they thought the title High Strung was so fucking clever. Because, like, you guys, he plays a string instrument. But, like, she's, like, really uptight. She's, like, high strung. That was the pitch just now, by the way. That's the pitch that happened in the room. Watch it.
Okay.
It's has some performances that are showgirls level.
What are you doing, Jazzy? Have you completely forgotten who you are? I'm a dancer. Then start acting like one.
I will say it.
Cool. I'm down. Speaking of, well, actually, this isn't a bad Netflix movie.
Okay.
So, speaking of those nights, though, where you're like, I just want to drink a bottle of wine, have some chocolate, and watch a bad Netflix movie, I was like, let's see, like, what gay movies are up. And there was a new one that I hadn't seen called Fourth Man Out.
Okay.
And I wasn't sure about watching it, except for I had to, because this is like a whole walk. But my best friend in kindergarten,
Long walk.
yeah, was a guy named Parker Young, who is now a pretty big actor.
Oh, that guy that was on Spurgatory.
Yeah, and he's like fucking hot as shit. Anyway,
I feel like him, sidebar, I feel like him and Robbie Amell could play like brothers, like
oh my
hot
God.
brothers.
That would be a really good movie.
Like, oh, we're hot brothers and like maybe we do manual labor and like maybe we're on a farm.
Yes. Maybe they're in a Nicholas Sparks movie?
Ooh, wait, can they be brothers that fall in love with the same girl?
Yes.
And they have to fight over her.
But then she has a sister.
Surprise, she has a twin sister.
Anyway, this movie... this movie, Fourth Man Out,
Yeah.
he plays... so there's like 4 friends, and one of them, like they've been, best buds for years, right? And one of them comes out, and they're all like, oh, what do we do now with like our gay friend? And it sounds like it would be horrible, but they actually did a pretty good job.
It sounds kind of fabulous, I'm not gonna lie.
It was actually really cute and fun, and I was like, I liked this.
So, speaking of Robbie Amell, I feel like we should talk about the fact that we both
Oh my god.
voluntarily watched 9 Lives last week. The Kevin Spacey cat film.
But what's more terrifying to me is that neither of us hated it. You guys, what's happening to us?
I must preface this. This movie's terrible.
It's terrible.
Absolute garbage. I didn't mind watching it.
I mean, I feel like I'm just gonna post right here our text thread.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, April, this movie is shit. Why did you tell? Oh, but like, it's actually kind of sweet. Like, what? I don't know what happens, but like, at some point it turns from, I'm gonna turn this off, this is garbage, to like, well, but maybe I'll watch a few more minutes, to like, oh wow, I watched this whole thing. What?
Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Its heart was in the right place.
It was.
Barry Sonnenfeld directed it, which helps. He knows how to make a movie.
It was tight. It was simple.
There was way too many I'm the cat, I fell down meowing stuff.
Duh.
Like, way too much. I was like, can this cat be muted?
Basically, this movie is clicked, clicker,
Click.
click.
Clicker.
Well, that's what the whole thing.
Yeah.
This movie is click, including Christopher Walken,
As the mystical, magical cat dealer.
but with cats instead of a remote control.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't explain it. I thought I was insane. I watched it first and was like, maybe got emotional at the end? I don't know what's happening. And then
I got emotional when Robbie Amell was like gonna jump off the building. I'm like, no! So stupid.
I mean,
but I didn't hate it.
then you guys, I didn't hate it. Don't watch it.
You could.
It's another one of those, like, I have nothing to do.
Yeah.
Should I watch this? I'm sick in bed.
Yep, I was literally sick in bed and I watched it and I didn't hate it. Maybe it was the fever. I don't know.
You know, for a movie with a talking cat,
So, another movie that we could not make it through.
I understand that we have just said that we liked 9 Lives in some way, and this makes us absolute hypocrites, but we turned off Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Part of that is my deep, deep, deep abiding love for Jane Austen.
Yep.
And how this was more of an action zombie movie than an interesting satire on the Regency era, which I wanted it to be. You know, like, have a way to, like, tie in what's happening in the plot and why it matters and why zombies fit into this plot and how, oh, we still have to be proper, but there's zombies outside, you know. There was so many things they could have done that I was, like, literally writing while we were watching it. And then at some point I was just like, I hate this.
Yep.
Let's turn it off. Darcy wasn't hot.
No.
He was like a grand zombie killer.
Yeah.
And
that's not Darcy.
It didn't feel Darcy at all.
That's not Darcy.
No.
They didn't get it.
He needed to be not doing that the whole time, and then when he's really backed into a corner to save Elizabeth, he fucking kills some fucking zombies.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, what's this?
I was too proud.
And
well, he was proud, she's
obviously,
prejudiced. Or he's prejudiced, she's proud.
It's kind of both. They're both. There was no letter writing.
No.
There was no gazing across a room longingly while not saying anything, but everything is being said behind your eyes.
Yes.
It's all I wanted.
Right? And I feel like we turned it off when there was like some whole like animated kind of paper stand-up pop-up book like...
Oh my god, I forgot about that. It was like the Civil War all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna move our troops over here.
Yeah,
and
there's
like,
this campman and that camp... I'm like, no. This is not Pride and Prejudice. Fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah, so I couldn't do it.
Sorry guys, we tried. Didn't happen.
Couldn't do it.
Mm-mm.
So the last movie that we both saw this year was Zoolander 2.
Which I had refused to see because I didn't want to ruin one of my 3 favorite movies of all time. I fucking love Zoolander.
I do too.
It's just a classic for me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can't ruin it.
Well, and the reviews were so bad. It wasn't just like, oh, it's not funny. It was like, oh, this movie is an utter pile of garbage and it's horrible and it's the worst.
And the thing that happened for me, I should have known better. Well, let's not get too crazy here. But like, the reviews for Zoolander were not good. That's why it was a cult classic. Is because everyone was like, nah, and it didn't do well. Also, I think 9/11. But, and so I should have known not to trust critics.
So I watched it and was like, I'm laughing often. This isn't garbage. This is sort of funny. It's no Zoolander 1. I like this movie. Am I insane? Like, I was literally watching the movie going, am I taking crazy pills? And then I texted Andrew, was like, so, just watch Zoolander 2. Not terrible. You didn't believe me.
I didn't. I'll give it a shot. And I was, Justin Bieber scene in the beginning.
The opening scene's awful. The opening credits, awful.
And then, it's like the whole thing is very similar. Are there missteps? Are there misfires? Sure. But, like, I didn't hate it.
I mean, Benedict Cumberbatch shows up as the hottest new model, who's, like, very androgynous, and just, they have a really funny back and forth about that.
Well, see, I didn't like that. You like the back and forth about it? Where he's like, do you have a hot dog or a bun? I didn't like that.
I liked Benedict Cumberbatch's just, like, dead responses.
Yes.
I mean, I thought Penelope Cruz was perfectly funny.
Yeah.
I thought Kristen Wiig, I could have had more of Kristen Wiig.
I could have had a lot more.
So funny with that accent.
Oh my god.
You could only understand very small parts of what she was saying. Like, I was like, I love this. Her makeup looked so funny. You know, it's basically the same movie, the same plot. It's stupid, but like the first one's stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was brilliant in its stupidity.
Yes.
And I don't want to say Zoolander 2 is brilliant, but like that's the humor.
The Aquavitae commercial.
That was everything with Naomi Campbell, who looks the fucking same. They were like, oh, we have to bring up this commercial from the 90s. Should we do any sort of CG Benjamin Buttoning to Naomi Campbell? No, we don't have to touch it. She looks the same. Cool. Cool. It was so good.
It was. She starts
Milking him as a centaur. Big shocker. I am surprised, but I am recommending Zoolander 2.
You heard it here first.
People
Literally,
hated it.
you
People
heard it
hated
here
it.
first. And only.
I think we might be the only people in the world that liked it.
It's not a great movie,
No.
but it's not terrible.
It's not terrible. It's perfectly watchable and funny.
It's perfectly watchable.
Remember when all the designers show up and they can't act and it's terrible, but it's so good?
When Anna Wintour is in this movie.
Remember when Anna Wintour is in this movie? And Mark Jacobs? And Tommy Hilfiger? Like, you're like, what's happening? This is madness. So, that's our 2016
there you
wrap
go.
up. Happy New
May
Year.
2017, please, God, be a much better year than 2016. 2016, go fuck yourself.
Straight up go fuck yourself.
Like,
Cheers.
yeah, to that.